guys, welcome back to In Her Rubber Boots. If you're new, my name is Katrina and I do videos like this 2, sometimes even 3 times a week. So if you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you would hit that red subscribe button down below. And so for today, we're going to be talking about minimalism and the journey towards living with less things and just more intentionally. So maybe you're really not wanting to be a minimalist, but you just feel like you have too much stuff and you don't know where to start. Sometimes things almost like own us. You know, we look around and we feel guilty about things. Oh, I shouldn't have purchased that. Oh, that item there, it's, still perfectly good. So how could I possibly get rid of it? That kind of thing. So I just want to talk about a few different categories and items that you can go through and how I personally go through items to try and not hold on to so many things and to still feel like I have the things that I love. I'm not, living with just 10 items. I have what I need and what I love. I also feel like I have room to breathe, I've got space, and my stuff is not taking over my life and, it doesn't own me. So one of the tips I would have would be to make it a lifestyle. If you just say, okay, this month I'm going to get rid of 50 items and I'm going to just, go through everything, but then you stop. What happens is things creep back in again, and in a few months you look around and you think it doesn't even look like I did anything. And so you have to make it more of a way of thinking. You're bringing an item in and you think to yourself, do I want this in my house? Do I want to be responsible for it? Do I want to dust it? That kind of thing. That really helps. One of the ways that I do that is I make sure I have either a box or a bag. Right? Are you pulling my hair? What are you doing? Always on the go. So I will have a box maybe somewhere by the door or something like that. So anytime I find an item that I think this is an item that I don't need or I could part with, I just put it in the box. And then every few weeks I just take that box to the secondhand store or sort through it, and if there's things that I think someone could use or something, I can always do that. But it's leaving the house, and that box indicates that that's where it's going. That was my backdrop to cover up the floral couch. Yeah, he doesn't care. So, where was I? Another tip that I have would be if you bring an item in, an item goes out. Now, this might not be practical for everything that you bring into the house, but I think especially for clothing, a lot of times I will find, a cute new top or a new sweater or something, and in my mind I will think, oh, this is so much better than something I already have, and I already know that it's the replacement for what I'm wearing now. So maybe something's wearing out or just doesn't fit the way I want it to, then I find something that's so much better, and then I have to remind myself when I bring it home, okay, this is the replacement for this item, so you need to get rid of this item, because otherwise the wardrobe just grows. Now, I'm still guilty of having a much larger wardrobe than what I should, but at least I am trying to think of, okay, this is a replacement, and getting rid of items. So that way, when I do need to go through my wardrobe, it's not quite as out of control as it would be otherwise. So considering that I myself am still on this journey, I thought I would bring you guys along as I go through some of the things in my house and cover different areas and different things that can be hard to sort through, and give you some tips on how I was able to part with some of these items and what I do to kind of maintain each of those areas. So let's start with toys. I feel like toys is an ongoing, never-ending battle. I mean, my little guy is only 11 months old, and he already owns so many toys and already makes huge messes that I don't even know what I'm going to do when he's a couple years old. So rather than letting things get way out of hand, I try to go through it every few weeks and just get rid of some of the stuff that he never really enjoyed, or pack away items that he's outgrown, or if there's items that are broken, throw them out, or if they're missing a lot of pieces, just get rid of those. And try to keep things in categories. What I try to do is not have everything out at the same time. So if he's got, blocks and he has cars and stuffed animals, I try to only have one thing out at a time. And that way he doesn't make as big of a mess and I'm not sorting through a whole bunch of different things every time I clean up. The kitchen's another area that is ongoing. I do find that cups would be an area that there seems to be a lot of. And I find if I have less cups and plates and that kind of thing, that the dishes don't pile up as fast. It's sort of like if there's nothing else to be able to eat or drink from, you're forced to do the dishes. So I do try to go through and keep that sort of to a minimum. If you don't know where to start in your kitchen, Tupperware, containers, that sort of thing is always a good area to sort through. Even if you just get rid of the stuff that's missing the lids or that is cracked or faded, that's usually a good place to start. A lot of times we have way more containers than what we actually need, and it feels so good when you can look in the cupboard and find a lid to go with the item you're looking for instead of searching and feeling like there's nothing that matches. I also find it quite helpful to have a set or Tupperware or Rubbermaid that fits inside of each other rather than a bunch of random pieces, because then you can just take a bottom and grab a top and you don't have to look for that specific container's lid. So that seems to make life easier. Another thing that tends to take up valuable real estate in our cupboards is small appliances. If you have a waffle maker or a George Foreman grill or an extra crock pot that you never use, just get rid of it. You won't feel guilty every time you open the cupboard, and it'll give you so much more space. Another area that you might have never thought of going through is old alcohol. Oftentimes we have an alcohol cabinet or shelf, and maybe there's alcohol in there that you'll never drink. It's been sitting there for years. Just go ahead and get rid of it. Maybe you know someone who can use it, great, but if not, just pour it down the drain and be done with it. While we're on the subject of things you never thought to get rid of in your kitchen, how about bags? Most of us have bags that are either too big or too small to use in the garbage, or they're paper bags, or they might have holes in them. Honestly, when I went through the bags, I did not realize how many bags I had that I will never use. And I'm always digging through trying to find a bag that will work in the garbage. And now I just reach in and grab one and I know it will work, and I'm not having to sort through all of them every single time I use a bag. I don't know about you, but pens have a way of creeping into our house. So I like to sort through the pens and just make sure that they work and that they're pens that we like to use, and not just keep pens because they're practical and, we might use them someday, because we really don't need hundreds of them. Well, hopefully that gives you guys a few areas to start going through and just getting rid of things. Let me know in the comments below what's an area that you're going through or items that you would suggest other people go through. Well guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. It means so much to me. And if you haven't subscribed already, I would love it if you would subscribe. It is free and it really does help my channel. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye!